What's up, guys? This is Ben with Free Spirit Recreation, located here in Golden, Colorado. Today I'm going to take you through my comparison of Aspen Lite XL versus Aspen V2 XL. Now, this is from my perspective. Everyone's perspective is going to be different, but let's dive right into Aspen Lite XL and Aspen V2 XL. Let's start with a few specs. Aspen Lite XL is 57.5 inches wide by 80 inches long and 7 3/8 inches high off your roof rack. It's going to come in at 110 pounds. That's Aspen Lite XL dimensions. Let's move over to Aspen V2 and talk about those dimensions. 59 3/8 inches wide by 86.5 inches long, the same 7 3/8 inches tall off your rack, and weighs in at 154 pounds. So let's dive into both tents and see which one could be the right fit for you. Now, this is all up to personal preference, but Aspen Lite XL was made for a below cab height application on a 6.5 foot truck bed. That meaning that 80 inches sitting below cab height is a good fit. Now, where that changes is how tall you are. You have a 72-inch mattress on the Aspen Lite. I'm 6'3". I can comfortably sleep in the Aspen Lite, but I'm sleeping on my stomach. That way my feet go down into the wedge. So the vehicles that are gonna be a really good fit for Aspen Lite XL are gonna be your below cab truck applications. Let's call an F-150 with a 6.5 foot bed, a Tacoma with a 6.5 foot bed. You're gonna be able to mount this tent lower because it's only 80 inches long. You don't need that max distance. Now, if you're going on a shorter SUV, the body's shorter, the roof line's shorter, let's talk about a 4Runner, a RAV4. Even smaller cars like Teslas can handle Aspen Lite XL and Aspen Lite. So that's what's a great fit for this. If you're looking for a great below cab height option, Aspen Lite is your ticket. Let's talk about Aspen V2 XL and vehicle fitment. Where do I see it fit the best? All trucks. Anything from a Tacoma to a full-size F-250, Aspen V2 XL is going to be a good fit. On SUVs, I think of Tahoes, full-size SUVs, even a 4Runner, a Sequoia. Bigger SUVs that have wider roof lines are better for XLs. One of the things that you're going to see different on this Aspen Lite XL that we're showing you here today is the addition of crossbars. Now, the Aspen Lite crossbars are on their way. They are coming out soon, but stacking gear on top of an Aspen Lite, what you really have to remember is this is an ultra lightweight tent. At only 110 pounds, it's only going to be able to handle so much weight. So when you're putting stuff on top of it, even though the bars can handle 100 pounds, you got to think about opening and closing, dynamic loads. So with a lightweight tent, make sure you're keeping your gear on top lightweight as well. The other thing that you're going to notice on Aspen Lite versus Aspen V2 is our track system. They're both extruded aluminum frames, but one of them has got a single track in Aspen Lite, and when you get to Aspen V2, you're going to get a double track. The reason why we did this is to reduce weight. Also is you don't have the ability on a lightweight tent to mount as much as you do to a full hard shell. We've got different ratings of gas struts in here. Make sure that you're taking that into consideration. Let's visit a little bit about the track system and it being only a single track. What the single track allows you to do is allows you to mount your ladder on all three sides. It's one of the universal features of clamshells traditionally. You can get in from the back or either side. In the tracks, because it's a single track, it can only handle so much weight. We've got our ladder brackets in here, our tent clasps. This tent, you're not going to be able to mount an awning directly to the side of it. The channels just don't have the strength as they do with the double channel system. So be thinking about that. Make sure to watch out for what you think you're going to attach to it as you're going through the buying process. Because if you're going to transport a lot of gear or you want to mount a lot of stuff to it, Aspen V2 XL is going to be the tent for you. Aspen Lite is a lightweight tent. So moving over to Aspen V2 XL, you're going to notice some attachments on this tent, and this is really where the big difference comes in. As far as transporting gear, you've got a full hard shell here. You've got increased gas struts. So we've got a paddleboard carrier on here. We've got a bike rack carrier on here. Opens just fine. But that's the major difference you're gonna see. When you get the double track system, it allows you to mount more things to it, whether you want to mount a shovel, your ladder positions, all three sides, you can do the same thing. A little more universal with the double track than the single track on Aspen Lite. So if you're that camper that's experienced, you're taking a lot of gear, you're going to be out for a long time, or you just want to have maximum versatility to mount things to your tent, Aspen V2 XL is going to be the tent for you over Aspen Lite. So now that we got both Aspen Lite XL and Aspen V2 XL open, you're gonna see these tents are virtually identical. We've made them the same from all the pockets, the gear grid, the angle at which they open, the height of the front door. Everything is identical. The big difference here is the length. So in Aspen Lite XL, you're gonna get a 72-inch long mattress. Now, the interior sleeping footprint is 76. A standard full-size mattress is 75 inches long. So why do we do that? Why do we make the mattress 72 instead of 76? I think that as the mattress is just a little bit shorter and you're a little bit taller, down in the wedge, you've got some space to tuck your feet in. If we do that mattress and we take it all the way to the end, it actually reduces the angle. So you actually get less footroom. The other reason why we do it is if you want to push the mattress all the way into the wedge, it creates a flat surface right out here in the front. Whether that's where you want to put your cell phone, a drink, it's a great just flat surface. The other option that you have is if you have extra bedding, you can throw the bedding down into the V and it'll tuck down into the corner. So you have a little bit of storage down there without that 3-inch void. So virtually identical. 72-inch long mattress, 76-inch interior footprint. For those of you that aren't doing math really quick, that's a 6-foot long mattress for somebody that's 6 feet tall. 76 is 6 feet 4 inches. So that's why I always say if you're over 6'2", maybe you want to look at Aspen V2 XL. So moving over to Aspen V2 XL, we're going to look at some of the differences. And like I said, these tents are virtually identical. The biggest difference that you're going to see is the length of that mattress. The length of that mattress is 79 inches long, and you've got an interior sleeping footprint of 84 inches. Quick math, that's a mattress that's 6'7" long and roughly 7 feet long on the interior sleeping space. So when you're making a decision, if you are an experienced camper taking lots of gear over 6 feet, Aspen V2 XL is your tent. If you're somebody that's just getting into rooftop tents, this may be your first rooftop tent ever. That's why we developed Aspen Lite. You're gonna get all the great features of Aspen V2 XL. You're just gonna get it in a lighter, more compact size, and you're also gonna lose a few of the features that a serious overlander taking out a lot of gear, they're gonna want that with Aspen V2 XL. They may not need it with Aspen Lite. So let's answer the question that everybody's asking. Are they both hard shells? The short answer is no. Aspen Lite XL comes with a tonneau style cover, which means it's soft, it's malleable, and it can move. It's fully waterproof. Water will bead off of it. You do not have to run a cover, even though we provide one. We provide that cover so that you can keep your tent looking brand new all year round. The difference with Aspen V2 XL is it's an aluminum honeycomb top, so it's a harder surface. That adds a little bit of weight, but it also adds some rigidity to the tent. That's why we can use heavier gas struts. We can transport more weight on this tent. Those are the big differences. Tonneau style cover and aluminum honeycomb cover. So one of the safety features that comes with each one of our hard shell tents is gas strut locks. Now, why do we call these a safety feature? If you're carrying weight on top of the tent, what'll most likely happen is you may see a little bit of sag right here. What a gas strut lock's gonna do is it's gonna lock your gas strut into place so that this tent cannot fall down. We like to use them whenever we're carrying high weight or whenever we're camping in high winds. So let's talk about wind with the gas struts. Now, with both Aspen V2 XL and Aspen Lite, if you're in heavy wind, we always recommend that you place the windbreak or the V, the nose of the tent, where the wind's coming. So that way wind will hit the front of your tent, roll over the top. If you get into really heavy winds, you can use your gas struts just to make sure that you don't feel any sagging or any movement in the tent during heavy winds. Now, what are heavy? Heavy winds, 50 miles an hour, 20 miles an hour could be heavy winds to some people. So use your gas struts as a safety mechanism for when it makes you feel most comfortable. So the fabrics on Aspen Lite XL and Aspen V2 XL are the exact same. You're gonna get tri-layer windows, doors, and ceilings on both tents. You're also gonna get our FSR tech fabric on the sides. So you're getting a combination here. You're getting diesel heater ports in both. What did it do and why did we take all the tri-layer out of the tent? We did that so that you could store bedding on the inside. We took out a minimal amount of tri-layer fabric on the side walls in order for the tent to fold easier and a reduction of the amount of fabric. That way you can store bedding on the inside. Still a true 4-season tent with the addition of the diesel heater ports. So let's talk about window coverings as we talk about the Rainfly. Free Spirit's been in business now for 10 years, and through customer feedback, we've made some changes to our tents that we didn't think were necessary. One of the things that you're gonna see is we don't have large window coverings with spring rods. We did that because customer feedback, when it got windy, they would pop out and they would scratch your car. We went away from them a long time ago. They're not coming back anytime soon at Free Spirit. We've been doing it long enough that we understand where water gets in, where water collects. These tents are 100% waterproof, and they will get the job done without the window coverings. Why are Free Spirit tents black? Number one, they aesthetically look great. That's why we went to black. The addition of tri-layer acts like a Yeti cooler. So no matter which temperature you're in, the inside of the tent is going to be controlled based off of what you put in it. So if you pump air conditioning into this tent, tri-layer is going to help it stay that temperature. If you pump heat into this tent with a diesel heater, tri-layer is going to maintain that heat better than regular fabric. So think about tri-layer as a Yeti cooler. Whatever you put into it, that's what it's going to mimic. So the black color not only looks great, it works in a multitude of environments, whether it's the desert, whether it's the mountains, or even down to the southeast in Florida. Let's talk about the question that everybody wants the answer to. Can you store bedding inside these tents? The short answer is yes. How you do it is a little bit different. We have a recommended pump on our website. With Aspen Lite, if you are storing bedding on the inside, we highly recommend that you get the pump or any pump that's on the market to help deflate the mattress. Now, when you're storing bedding on the inside of Aspen Lite, I want you to remember that this U-bar is very important. If you stack bedding under the U-bar isn't going to be able to collapse all the way down. So make sure you use the void of the door whenever you're storing pillows or bigger blankets. Make sure you sit them inside of the opening here. That way the U-bar can fold totally flat. Same thing on Aspen V2 XL. You're going to want to take a pump and pull all the air out of it if you want to store max bedding. Guys, when we talk about bedding in general, we're talking about sleeping bags, a thin comforter, a sheet set, something typically you'd think of in bedding. Now, I don't know if a fold down comforter from your house that's 4 inches thick is going to fit in there. Most likely it will, but you have to think about bedding here as a sleeping bag, a blanket, a cloud topper. Those are the things that you're going to fit inside. Now with pillows in Aspen V2 XL, most of the time it's better to put them down in the bottom of the V because they get the most compression when it starts to close. So just remember your U-bar, remember your pump, store max bedding, get out there and have a great time.